African teams are going to improve in the World Cup, and African teams are going to improve in the World Cup, because of the field. You know, during African competitions like when African teams play against other African teams and African nations, the soccer fields, you know, African soccer fields are of very poor quality. African fields are typically lower quality than European soccer fields and South American soccer fields. So with African fields, the ball, is hard to control. On the African turf, the ball never just seems to roll on the ground, without bouncing up and down very highly. On the African field, the ball just bounces up and down the field so hard. So on the African field, it's much more difficult to control the ball. It's much harder to control the ball on the African turf. So African nations usually have a much more difficult time passing the ball accurately and moving the ball around the field because of that turf. But in the World Cup, they use the best field quality. In a competition at such a high magnitude as the World Cup, the playing field has to be perfect. And FIFA has enough money to provide the best field possible for the World Cup competition. So I imagine for the World Cup in Qatar, the fields are going to be at a European level of quality. European fields are perfect. On European fields, it's easier to pass the ball. It's easier to keep possession of the ball, on that smooth European field. So at the World Cup level, for African teams, with the improved quality of field, the game is just going to be so much easier for African teams. With a high quality field, African teams are going to have an easier time passing the ball, keeping possession of the ball, and in order to score, you need possession of the ball. The more possession you have of the ball, the more likelihood you have of scoring. In order to score, you need more possession of the ball, and that's what African teams are going to have the opportunity to do on a World Cup level quality field. So I'm really interested to see how teams like Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, how they're going to perform, on a high quality turf. The game is just going to go to the next level because, the African turf, it's hard to pass the ball, hard to keep possession of the ball. So I imagine at the World Cup level with the high quality turf, African teams are going to have an easier time to pass the ball, keep possession of the ball, and it's just going to make much easier for African teams to score, in the World Cup with a higher quality field. But that's all I have to say today. Peace.